to be? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the United Kingdom with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday as well. In the most recent episode of What's All This Then Finest, we did another edition of The Post Box. I didn't call it the mailbag. I read what I had written down. I did very good, where we answered a bunch of your listener questions. So if you'd like to listen to, or indeed watch that episode, head on over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/what's all this then. And you can watch this very episode right here, right now. I'm doing a little wave with the camera for the people watching.
I was playing with my headphone cord, so I wasn't looking away. I was already doing what's it called? It's like stimming, but it's not stimming when you do it with your fingers, or is it stimming?
Special stimming. Special finger stimming.
Physical stimming. Yeah, that sounds
But today on the show, transgendered, woke, socialist, immigrant influencers launch vile attack on beloved British newspaper in unfocused and too long podcast episode. Also, scientists discover secret life-changing sex position my husband claims could end Brexit in 2 weeks and bring Princess Diana back from the grave. More on page 10. I'm Charlotte McDonnell, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host, it's Libby Watson.
Wow, Charlotte, that's crazy. Haha. Can you tell me more about the position you mentioned, or whatever? It's not a big deal. I thought that sounded interesting, but it's up to you. We can talk about whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, as part of the preparation for this episode, I did go onto the website that we is the website of the thing we are talking about today.
Yeah.
And crazy to see how much how many headlines like the one I mentioned actually exist. I really did I basically just did Mad Libs and pulled little bits from all of the ones that were just on the one page that I saw.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all really like that.
It's crazy. Yes, it's crazy when we do a topic and it's like, oh, it's exactly what I thought it was. It's just exactly what I thought. I didn't even need to revisit it. It's exactly how I remember it. My memories of my previous British life are exactly accurate, and
yes,
no need to do any more research. And I certainly didn't do any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, me neither. Who cares? It's the Daily Mail.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it for 5 minutes and then chuck it in the bin. We'll talk about something else. It's fine.
Yeah.
I do. Speaking of a little British life, though, I do want to talk to you about my own little British life. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Didn't know if I could talk. How's it going? Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hi, David.
Hey,
Hi,
it's
David.
me, David.
I want to introduce you in a second, but I also wanted to make sure you're included on this very exciting conversation that a very exciting story I'm about to share, which is about my lunch.
Oh, good.
Today, my lunch. Libby's already
Lunch chat.
Little bit of lunch
God.
chat, if that's okay.
I would have burst through the pre-introduced guest wall for lunch chat regardless. So you made the right move by ushering me in, being like, this man wants to talk about sandwiches.
If you guys have got lunch to talk about, I'd love to hear it. But I've been doing I needed to have my lunch very quickly today, so I went to the store and got myself these little spinach ricotta rolls that come with a little bit of tzatziki dip. I have these all the time. Sometimes I get really lucky and I go in because they do sit in the little refrigerated section. Sometimes I go in and they've just baked them, and so they're still like lovely and toasty and warm, which is so nice because they do make them in the supermarket. Libby, you're looking confused.
Well, you said that they are in the refrigerator. Not to go Columbo on you, but you said that they were in the refrigerated section, and then now you're saying they're toasty and warm. Something's not adding up.
Well, this is the thing. So I know this is you're onto something here, and I'm excited to find out what the one more thing is. But they cook them. Here's how it works. What they do is they cook them and then they put them in the fridge.
All right, and then what happens?
And then get this, and then I buy them.
Oh.
Not all of them, just as much as I can eat.
The amount that you need, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then that's lunchtime. I eat them, but just half of them. I do eat them. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Charlotte, you only eat half of them, so how many are you getting in a box?
Libby, so usually you get 10 in a box,
Right.
And this is where it really gets exciting. This is because they were cold today. Usually you get 10 in a box. Today, brought the box home, put it on my desk to eat while I was going to upload, a reel for the podcast. Look down, 11 spinach rolls in my box.
Holy
that's,
fuck.
11.
That's auspicious. Is this like that's like the British version of when you go to Popeyes and they just give you whatever? Like you can, like you place an order and you pay for the order that you've placed, and then later on you will find out what you've received, and it will have some, like you'll be able to see some of the same ingredients in there, but it will be formatted very differently.
Yeah, there'll be a combination of items you recognize.
Yeah.
They may not be the ones that you ordered. The one that I haven't had Popeyes since I moved to LA, but in DC I live pretty close to one, and that one was particularly bad for not giving you the biscuit, which is the main reason you go to Popeyes.
Many such cases, though. It's like a little. I think they give the people behind the counter a great deal of leeway in terms of, does this person deserve the biscuit or not?
Yes. And they looked at me and said, "No biscuit for you."
Yeah, which is terrible because they don't even know you. They don't know you like that.
That they don't even know how funny it is that to me a biscuit is something entirely different. You know, maybe
if
I'd done a couple
you want to put
minutes
that biscuit
on that.
in your tea.
You thought it would be a snap of crisps. You were like, what? Right? Is that good? How good was that?
That was pretty good, actually.
I could do the whole episode in that voice.
I'm not going to give you that was good.
No,
actually,
it wasn't.
unfortunately.
No, it wasn't good.
You said snap of crisps?
The reason I said that is that I heard Madonna say it once during the brief period of time when Madonna was speaking with a British accent during her Guy Ritchie years.
Snap of crisps.
And she used that term to describe a bag of potato chips. And I remember at the time being like, I don't know what all these words mean, but I'm sure that that's wrong.
Yes.
Like it feels like it just didn't scan all the way through, even in a brief MTV News interview where she was talking about living in swinging London or whatever.
That is very much giving American student studies abroad in England for 9 months and then comes back and gets it all totally wrong, but in a way that is meant to tee you up to say, oh, and is that what they said in London? When
Is
you
that
were
interesting?
in
Oh.
London?
So it was a good time. You enjoyed being married to Guy Ritchie? That's cool.
Libby, I've had an idea.
Yeah.
So a couple of episodes back, we introduced the concept that at the very end of the podcast, for when the guests, it's time to promote themselves and talk about the thing they want to talk about, we force them to do a British accent in order to promote themselves. I'm wondering if a slight addendum to that rule, if the guest naturally does a British accent unprompted, then they have to do that, and otherwise they're free to promote it normally. How does that?
I see. So once they've started the British accent, they can't stop it. They can't be like, no, I'm just playing anyway. Because you're right that I think a stumbling block is saying stuff that is not, I've put my lorry up my bum or whatever, but saying Instagram.com /
Yeah.
Joe Rogan or whoever it is we're having.
If I have to say the word paywall in a Scottish accent to describe Defector, I'm gonna, I will fake technical difficulties and leave this call.
And you know the Scots are
do
the Scots are never going over the paywall.
No, that's that's a thing. They're supposed to be cheap. I feel like I almost.
Really sorry, Scottish. I'm really
They call
sorry.
it,
I know the English are worse.
They call it Hadrian's paywall.
Yo,
How's
wow, Charlotte.
Yeah.
History
Pretty good.
joke.
Yeah,
A history joke. Yes.
History.
And you're the history one, Libby, as
I'm
well.
the history one. Yes.
Libby's the history one. I want to go back to Popeyes briefly because I feel like my opinion on Popeyes is the most British opinion you can have on it, which is that the chicken has too much flavor.
Yeah.
Charlotte, no, you can't say this.
I know I can't
we're
say
gonna
it, but
get
it
comments.
is true.
She think the biscuit too spicy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
We're gonna get the quote tweets. Yeah.
So something that I will say, not just because I'm polite and a nice boy, it's incredibly salty. Every time I have it, I'm shocked at how salty it is. I like it. I'd have it maybe 3 times a year, and then I'm really thirsty for the next 36 hours. And that's just, I think, like the effect that it's supposed to have on you. But I understand. I understand it in the abstract, even though it would not keep me from eating it if it were placed in front of me.
It is
Okay.
too salty. The fries, I find, are too salty. And I love salt. I have mentioned on this podcast before how I used to, when I was a kid, just lick salt off my hand. So I can take a lot of salt in something, but I find the Popeyes a bit much. Personally, it's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit
So
much.
you never got to the point. What happened after you ate the spinach rolls?
Well, David, I'm so happy you asked. But just before we get into all that, because there was a lot to get into. Let me just be a good podcast host and introduce you. He's a writer and editor at Defector and one of the hosts of the podcast The Distraction. I think this guy really, really likes the New York Mets. It's David Roth.
Yes, it's true. You're right. Thanks for having me. I am very honored and pleased to be here.
This is the first time we've had someone who could, in any way, be called my former coworker.
Yes.
Oh,
I mean, it was all very diffuse. Like I've only the one time that I've met Libby in real life, it was at for a big sandwich in Santa Monica in California. So never in a work-related capacity, more in a
that's true. We were not
related capacity. Yes,
we were not seeing each other at the water cooler or doing the smile you do when you see someone in the corridor. We weren't doing any of that. We were mostly just making fun of the same people in Slack.
Which is basically what being a coworker of mine is at this point. Like I've spent very little time on the same physical plant as the people that I work with. But yeah, those were good times. I guess, I mean, you don't consider Jesse to be a former coworker, even though you guys have been on each other's podcasts so many times?
I don't consider Jesse to be a worker in any sense.
That's true, actually. Yeah, he's a working man. He's an icon of his class. But yes,
Jesse Farrar is the icon, I would say.
Yeah, but
I mean,
of
we
a certain type of
I would call him a current coworker. Is the thing, weirdly
he's
enough.
More of a what's it called when someone's in the same field as you, but you're not working for the same place.
Would you describe Jesse Farrar as a colleague?
He's a colleague.
He's a colleague.
Yeah. My colleague, Jesse Farrar.
My professional peer, JF.
Oh, my colleague, Jesse Farrar, is trying to shove an entire McDonald's burger into his mouth again. And he's doing it brilliantly. This is exciting. The sort of marriage of my former life as a writer, media person, and my current life as this.
One of the people that explains England to American audiences.
That's right.
That is what we do.
It's important work.
It is. Thank you for saying that, David.
The one that we wound up with today as a topic after I take listeners inside the game for a little bit. Like Libby asked the first few things I suggested, just all food, like a clown. Like just wanting to know about beans. And then I was like, what about buddies? Just because I think it's funny to call a sandwich a buddy.
Butty, yes.
And there's one
hard for
crazy
how to say.
How I knew that butties was brought up, and I 100% heard you say buddies.
Buddies, my buddies. These are my buddies. I need to enunciate more. But yeah, a butty.
There's no way to do it because it sounds crazy when you say butties too. There's no way. It's like when I try and say, if I try to say Nevada in the way that you're supposed to pronounce Nevada.
The way that
I sound
Senator
fucking
Harry
mental.
Reid said it. Yeah, I mean, these things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a difficult word. There's also a lot of things in the United States that are pronounced in ways that are insane by the people that live there as a sort of little prank on the rest of humanity. And you can't blame yourself for not saying Nevada the way that people in Nevada say Nevada. I don't even know if I'm saying it that way. But the one I settled on, or that we settled on as a topic, is one that like I sincerely do not understand, even though I'm aware that it is winning. Like the headlines that Charlotte read at the beginning, I'm like, all of that is just basically a marquee scrolling endlessly. That is our daily reality. And yet, the Daily Mail is different than the tabloid stuff that I'm used to. I can't tell if it's worse, but there's something about it that is... Maybe it's like the problem that you have with Popeye's chicken. Like there's something in the flavor that is a little off to me, and I'm like, no, I don't think you're supposed to eat that. You have to.
Well, there's definitely there is too much of it for sure. Yeah. There's that. We should pivot away from the Daily Mail though, and get into that.
Oh, David, we've so much podcast to do before we.
All right, let's do it.
So sorry.
There is so. I mean, I love it when any guest is coming in with a perfect segue, and I do this all the time as well. I will segue into something that is not about to happen.
Yeah.
so seamlessly, and then realize actually no, there's a whole part of the podcast that I'd completely forgotten about.
No, that's fun. You can just take that out and use it later if you want, or I can repeat it verbatim. I had it written down, so I'm happy to whenever you need it. Just
We're gonna
It's
cut.
really good.
We're going to cut this whole thing up like Homer Simpson's rock bottom interview.
Yeah, good.
And you'll be saying her sweet can over and
Sweet
over again.
can.
Yeah. David, we do usually like to ask our guests about their relationship with the UK. Now, you did say when you were over there, you had a lot of butties and kebabs.
Yes.
And I'd like to know about your time in the UK and, in general, your relationship with it as a thing. Do you like us?
Sure.
Do you like us?
Yeah.
Do you think we're pretty?
Yeah.
Are you going to ask England out?
I don't know if I like England like that, but I like England as a friend. Sure.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
I like a
Huge. Wow.
We'll take it.
Okay.
We'll take
Sure.
it.
no, like just to hang out and stuff and
Mhm.
to talk and to learn stuff. I was over there for a summer program when I was in high school. I did a filmmaking program through a Canadian university. I have no idea what my parents paid for this. As I'm talking about it now, I feel like I should apologize to them because it was probably just like $10,000 to get their kid to go fuck off to Oxford for 3 weeks or whatever. But I had a good time there. I made friends there that are still friends.
lovely.
I did not become a
Nice.
filmmaker. But yeah, it was the first time I'd really like lived independently outside of I hadn't been to college, and I was living in a dorm at Merton College at Oxford, and it sucked. It was gross. But I loved it. I'd not spent that much time like sort of like fending for myself and getting, like acquainted with a city, or just the small parts of it that I could walk to. So I had a really good time there, but it was not like a representative thing. And then since then, I've spent like 36 hours in London in the intervening years, and
Okay.
that was fun. But that was that.
Yeah. I get that a lot from people who have spent 24 to 36 hours in London as a layover on the way to a better European country from
Right.
the US.
Like,
and
I
they
think I got a
say-
pretty good idea about what kind of toffee you guys are working with. Yeah, like
Oh, we do fucking love toffee though, don't we? All right, I'm looking at where Merton College is because I am from a village near Banbury, which is 20 miles north of Oxford, and I've spent a lot of time in Oxford, and I'm seeing that I recognize where this is. Of course, you got the Mob Quad. You remember the Mob Quad?
I don't know if I do remember the Mob Quad. What does it
Remember
look
the
like?
Mob Quad?
The Mob Quad. This is embarrassing, right? Because I don't even know if I remember I remember quads. Certainly.
It's got its own long Wikipedia page. It's a four-sided group of buildings from the 13th and 14th centuries in Merton College. So it's just the quad. But
Yeah,
apparently
just
it's
the
called the
quad.
Mob Quad.
All right. In that case, I certainly took bad photos of it and brought them back and was like, "You believe this shit? Look how old this is." We're like, thanks. That's cool. We have to go
they got
refinance
buildings
our
here,
home. Baby, yeah, it's just, they call them lorries over there, though. It's different. Yeah, but it was a good time. The biggest memory I have of it was a ton of mosquitoes in my room and jumping up to try to smash them with a book.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah. But then also
that's-
like I said, also dear friends,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and good
Sure,
times.
sure.
Yeah. Dear friends, who I'm sure you met at the Merton Field, which is out the back. It's a park
Yeah.
outside of Merton College. 'Cause they're dear. I haven't talked about this on the podcast before, but I have spent 2 nights in an Oxford college when I interviewed there for university. Can you guess whether I got in?
Well, given all I'm assuming the answer is yes, but you decided to go someplace else because you wanted to be true to yourself.
That's
I
actually
love that so much. That is
That's
so
what
Libyan.
happened. That's what
Definitely,
happened.
definitely
Well,
smart
that's-
enough to get in. Or if they didn't let you in, they didn't understand your brilliance because it was
Yeah.
sort of on another level.
Right.
Yes.
I think.
Many such cases there. I think that's something you hear about a lot.
yeah.
What is it like to be interviewed? Like, is it this? I'm assuming it's different than, the sort of the American college experience, which is basically scanning for your potential for a mass violence event? Like that is what? Like I don't think that they're really like they're not asking you philosophical questions, but you maybe did get philosophical questions.
Yeah. So this was in 2007, so maybe things have changed. But when in my day, when you were applying to Oxford, you had to do the way that university applications worked. And Charlotte, of course, doesn't know this because she didn't go to university because she was.
I
too
was
busy.
just thinking about the fact in 2007 I was like making YouTube video.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
were
I was doing.
probably already richer than I am now.
I was becoming the most popular person in the world on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was doing at
Right,
around
but
that
college
time.
is good too. But
Yeah.
but if you can, right?
But I'm sure you had fun with your freshest week.
kind of yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. You apply to universities, but when you apply to Oxford and Cambridge, you have to do a special extra application because they're ever so posh.
Yeah.
You had to do an extra essay or whatever. If your essay is good enough and your grades are good enough, then they'll invite you to interview, which means going to Oxford for this time it was 3 days. And I was applying for history and politics, so I had to have a history interview and a politics interview.
Mhm.
Showed up, immediately got a migraine. Didn't tell anyone.
Oh.
Because I would love to ask
Yeah, that's
17-year-old Libby, what was that about?
That is an
Mhm.
extreme teenage decision there,
Mhm.
where you're just kind of like, this is my flu game. I got to play through this.
If I'd known what a flu game
Flu game was right. Yeah, you were not familiar with Michael Jordan at that time.
I
don't
was
know.
not. No. Well, I was familiar with them, of course, because I grew up
Yeah.
watching Space Jam, but which
Mhm.
was really a sort of flu game of a movie.
Yes.
Just kind
Anyway.
of curious about what Libby's migraine game is. Just thinking about that.
The one like the blog that you wrote, even though you couldn't see. At
Yeah.
The time.
Oh, tons of blogs.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
luckily they've all been bought by a company and destroyed, so we'll never know.
That was close.
Yeah, thank God. Anyway, it wasn't good. I overslept I went to try and sleep it off, and then they called me on the landline phone in my little room saying, you're supposed to be in your history interview, and I ran down with my shoes untied to get there. Anyway, it wasn't good.
God, that's like from a movie.
It
Yeah.
is. Oh, well, it gets
Truly.
movier.
Movie.
It gets movier because the only kids that I had talked to that day were these nice northern kids. And just for a bit of context, Oxford, lots of posh kids, mostly southern. Northern, I was sort of like, all right, these ones might be all right because they're from the north, you know?
Mhm.
And they all went to a movie without me. And I went back to my room and cried, and
Mhm.
the migraine meds I took didn't work, and I called my mum and begged to come home. And then the next morning, I still had the migraine. I went to my politics interview, and at this stage of my life, all I was doing was going to the school computers, typing in HuffingtonPost.com, and reading about American politics. It was 2007. You know, Iowa caucuses were coming up. A young senator called Barack Obama was kind of taking the nation by storm, and it was all I wanted to know about. And it was all they asked me about was Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And
Really?
the sort of
I
stuff
thought
I
it would-
said was, Hillary Clinton is not very nice.
The idea that I was hoping that the answer would be like they'd ask you about like political philosophy, and you'd have to be like, John Edwards got a raw deal. Here's why. Like it didn't occur to me that they would actually be asking you like cheesy American politics questions.
I think they
feel like
did.
I should apologize on behalf of
No.
our political culture for that.
That was my bad, was
All right.
getting really into, staying up for Super Tuesday and all that shit.
Mhm.
But no, I think they did ask me something about, like, what's that concept of, like, if you were designing a tax system without, if a blind baby or something, what's it called?
That I
What
do
on
not
earth
know.
is? I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah.
There's
about.
a political thing where it's like, if a baby is born and doesn't know anything, what political system would it design or something? I don't know. This is why I didn't get it.
You're gonna meet this. Is this a specific baby?
Tell me
Did
more
they
about
do
why
this
you
in real
thought
life?
John Edwards got a raw deal. But so wait, did you actually? You did get a couple of the like high flown, like, because this is my romantic vision of what this
Yeah.
is like literally just 4 guys in gowns, like looking like Russian Orthodox priests, asking you questions about, the most refined thoughts in human history.
Yeah, it was definitely some sort of like frumpy old man. I did better in the history interview was better. That was more about concepts in history. But yeah, honestly, I really don't remember. This was more, 18 years ago at this point. So it was just a really bad time. Anyway, those rooms were gross too. They weren't as gross as having mosquitoes in the ceiling, but I had a miserable time there, even aside from the migraine, walking around thinking this isn't a good place to be. Like, this isn't a good place to go to university. Everyone here sucks and is evil.
Yeah, this is the bit that is not representative of my experience, is that my program was a summer program.
Right.
And so I saw the old buildings, but I didn't see the like vile lordlings that would be in them most of the time. All I had was like the sandwiches, and there was like a bar where they would like give me beer, even though I wasn't old enough to get beer in the United States. And that was cool.
That's crazy.
The statute of limitations has run. I'm not getting anybody in trouble for pouring me a pint of harp when I was 16 or 17 or whatever. But
now,
it didn't like the idea of like who actually goes to Oxford really was not very heavy on my mind at that point.
You weren't seeing a future prime minister fucking a pig's head or anything like that.
No, and I imagine that if you spent any time there during the actual academic calendar, that you would have a hard time not seeing that sort of thing.
Yeah. There were some kids that had who were in the room where they put all of the students who were waiting to interview. There was like a common room or whatever, and they had I think they paid some students to hang out and show us what Oxford students are like, and they were just such tossers. They were such tossers, just radiating tossishness. I'm curious if you tried any English beer when you were there, and did you think it sucked?
I didn't try any of the stranger English beer experiences. I don't want to give the wrong impression here, but I'm a pretty cool guy, and I'd had beer before I went there.
Sure.
I'd had, American style beers, like some Coors that you took from your friend's dad's fridge, and then you were worried that you would get caught, so you put it in a nearby river to keep it cold, and so when you were drinking it, it smelled weird. That's the type. I'd had that type of beer in the past.
Classic Coors taste.
We've all done it.
It is, yeah.
A little bit
fresh,
of river.
You want a little bit of the taste of the Rockies, and then you want a little bit of the Hohokus Brook smell, which is benzene and algae.
Yeah.
So I had the stuff that I drank over there. I had a Guinness. I didn't know how to handle that. It made me feel like I was eating an entire loaf of bread. I just felt
it's a meal.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think I now like it. I mean, I probably have 4 or 5 pints of it per year if I want it. I know it's healthier than any of the alternatives. I mostly was drinking Harp, and then I was drinking a cider, the name of which I don't remember, both of which I thought were neat. And I know are the most obvious and easy to find. It's coming back and, from a trip to the States and raving about you have no idea. Michelob Ultra. Look it up. Okay? It has almost no calories or no calories. And I just normie ass shit. But I had never like I said, I mean, the real thing that resonated to me about this, the reason that I have these warm associations with getting a burger or a kebab from a kebab truck is that I did it by myself.
Totally.
I didn't have, no one
That
was
is
telling me to
nice.
go to bed, and it was 9:45, and I was thinking I could go for a burger, and then I just went and got it. So yeah, it ditto for the beers. I mean, it was mostly just waiting for the moment when I would be grabbed by the scruff of the neck and ejected from the place that I was in, and because that never happened, it was the most satisfying beer that certainly I've already established the beer experiences I had prior to that. So obviously it was going to be better than one that I had stashed in a crick. But it was still it was good. It felt cool. Felt like a grown up.
I do relate enormously to that experience as insufferable study abroad person myself. That feeling of I'm in this place and I'm doing it and it's me doing it and it's my thing, and I can do kind of whatever I want Now, obviously not whatever I want because I didn't have a car and I was living
Right.
in LA. So.
Yeah, and that was basically the experience that I had too. That like I had, whatever. I was cock of the walk, like absolutely in charge of my own shit for like a 5-block radius, and then any other place that I wanted to go, I would have to like wait for the program to rent a van and put us in it and take us there.
Yeah,
Like, that way of living it at least is going to go much further in the UK, where shit is actually walkable, as opposed to, I'm just thinking about all of the times I went on trips to Los Angeles for work, and they would just put me in a hotel in like Marina del Rey.
Yep.
And I was like, I was queen of like, that specific area with the restaurants, and I never got to leave because I couldn't drive.
Just riding up and down, being like, this elevator bank feels different. I feel like I'm home. Yeah, Los Angeles County without a car. I've done that experience, like, like something, Libby knows this actually, because you did scoop me up and drive me to go get the sandwich. I was there.
Great time.
Piggybacking on my wife's work trip. I was in Westwood, which is a great place to be without a car, because it's a college campus, and then everything is 1.25 miles away that you would want to go to. And there is some stuff that you can walk to, but it's designed for like people so hungover that they are medically dead, or like that need school supplies. But yeah, asking people to come and like drive you someplace. I don't think I realized how messed up a behavior that is in Los Angeles for the first several times that I went out there. But I was basically like asking someone to like, can you drive 45 minutes to pick me up so we can drive another 45 minutes in a different direction? And then later on, can you drive 2 hours home?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I personally, I suppose it depends on how much I like the person. And obviously, David, because I like you, it was no big deal at all to spend the afternoon driving around LA. Also, when it's someone from out of town, I like to be like, all right, I'm going to make sure they have a good time.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
show
a
them stuff that's
destination
nice.
sandwich.
It was a
understood.
destination sandwich. Yeah, exactly.
It's very easy to hate Los Angeles if you do not have someone to sort of guide you. And I know that is a big thing for Libby, is like, I want to make sure you come out of your Los Angeles experience having enjoyed it.
Yes.
I will say I went to LA many times for work stuff and was like, I would never live here. Really, really hate it. And the one time I went there and I was hanging out with Libby, I immediately completely flipped and I was like, you know what? Maybe my whole life could be revolving around this place.
Yeah.
And now there's a fascist in charge, and so I'm not going to leave Canada, but still.
Yes. But I absolutely am. I'm in the tank for it as a city for that reason, that it's just like the people that, and I think it's meaningful that a lot of the people that have that kind of like evangelist approach to Los Angeles are not from there. I mean, some people that are from there really love it too, but it's like, it's different. The Libby stuff. I have a friend who is now an LA County fireman, but he spent many years waiting to get in the fire class academy, just working as an EMT. And so that's a lot of like driving around the weird suburb, like the sprawly parts of Los Angeles, basically waiting to be told that someone is having the worst moment of their life.
Yes.
And he is a freak for Los Angeles in a way, not just in terms of like, we got to go to Santa Monica to get this sandwich. It's probably a little outdated now because he's like got kids and has a job and stuff. But like anywhere we were, he'd be like, there's something I want you to eat in Monterey Park, and I know where to find it and we're going to get there. And that is 100% my version of tourism. And so like I have an unrealistic view of Los Angeles that's shaped by the fact that I had a kind friend driving me around and like just giving me tacos at regular intervals to keep my health bars up. And that was a good feeling.
That's nice.
That's my favorite way of taking someone around LA too. I think LA is definitely for me it's something of a microcosm of my relationship with America, in that I have to figure out how to deal with loving something that is indefensible and not good. And evil also, but
and in addition,
evil, but also where 12 million people live, and a lot of them are amazing. And like the LA River is a good example to me. I live not far from the LA River, completely fucked up, not a proper river, covered in concrete. They covered it in concrete because it was flooding in the 30s, and they didn't know about climate change gonna happen, and actually that would be the opposite of the problem. And it is designed to funnel all of our nice, lovely water into the fucking ocean. Ugly as hell, just bizarre. But kind of love it, because it's kind of like, well, this is our fucked up thing.
Yeah.
You know? But, this is something, I don't know, it's a question of like, well, do you reject something that is part of you that you hate, or do you kind of figure out a way to say, well, all right, it sucks, but,
I mean, I was like steeped in that as a person who grew up in New Jersey, which is sort of a, shitted on region of the country in a way that is like, everybody feels like they got a right to do it. You would hear, I mean, I don't know that people do this anymore because, again, as you said, our culture has gotten much more evil and nationalized. But the idea of like sort of defending, like as a child, there being just like medical waste on the New Jersey beaches happened a lot. You know, like that was, they just didn't know that if you dumped something at sea, it would come back to land. It was the 80s and the 90s. They hadn't figured out how that stuff worked yet.
The tides, yeah.
Yes, right. Well, they were still working on it. And I believe still are. I mean, I think there's still a lot that we don't know about what happens when you dump garbage in the ocean. But I remember at the time being like, all those jokes being like, yeah, we fucking like it like that. Like some of us actually go to the beach for a challenge to get better. And that is like, it's a dumb way to be, but it's like an impulse that I have not gotten rid of. I'm assuming that was why you like gravitated towards the northern kids at Oxford or whatever, is that there's somebody else that is going to like hold themselves as an outsider in that space,
right.
just because of, whatever, an accident of where they were born.
Yes. I certainly, I don't think could ever have been friends with someone who was sort of comfortable with themselves, I guess, but also with
that was
with being somewhere like that.
I can't tell what of this is like New Jersey related brain damage on my part, and what of it is just the bad personality and mood disorder that I have. Like the two have sort of become so symbiotic that they're inextricable. Yeah, which is cool, and that's why I'm doing so well.
Speaking of things that are bad, but that
good.
Have stuck around because people still kind of love them, shall we talk about wigs? It's time for British Thought of the Week.
Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
I truly did spend, I think, the last 10 minutes thinking we are talking a lot about Los Angeles and New Jersey. How the fuck am I going to transition into British Thought of the Week? I did my best. Today's British Thought of the Week is, do British lawyers still wear those wigs?
Yeah. Ooh. If you asked me that question, I would not totally know the answer.
No? David?
I am only going off the last TV show that I watched involving British lawyers, and now I'm realizing that I don't know if I remember it either.
Sounds like a great show.
Yeah, and it was good. It's Department Q. They're all Scottish, except for Matthew Goode, who's British and is really snobby about how everybody else is Scottish. I liked it. I think that they were wearing wigs. I think that like when you're talking, you have to. It's like it's more like a hat. Like it's not like a convincing wig. It's just the sort of the talking.
Yeah, it is. It is like a little. It is kind of like a little hat. So this British thought came from Alyssa H from Portland, Oregon, who specifically said, "Powdered wigs. We're still doing powdered wigs. At least British lawyers are. Where do they get their wigs? Is getting your first barrister's wig an important rite of passage?" I want to show for you guys and for the video folks as well. I have a little picture just to illustrate this. So this is the wig that we're talking about.
Now that's a girl boss, isn't it?
Yeah. She's got the Costa coffee. She's got the folders. She's got the big glasses, and she's got the fit. Right.
Yeah.
She's
but
got
then
the full.
Also has Wesley Snipes' haircut from Demolition Man. really great.
Oh man, she's killing it.
So for audio listeners, I think the thing to be aware is, because I think when you think of like British people wearing the wigs in like court, what you might be thinking of immediately is the like kind of long like judge's wig, that sort of like stereotypical long judge's wig.
Yeah.
Which I found out is a thing that they do still wear for real in the UK, although it is like a ceremonial thing. So they just put that one on for like special occasions. And then they have like the wigs that they're actually like, doing the day-to-day work in, which are these like much smaller little guys. They I think describing them sort of like they are a hat is appropriate. They have and they do look very old as well, right? And they have different ones for barristers and ones for judges. So in the pic I'm showing you both, the one up front, which is just like really kind of like short, very like taut, like curly white hair with just like a couple of like, I don't know, hangy bits round back. That's the one for judges.
Strands.
Yes, very alarming strands. The one on the right is giving sheep with pigtails.
Yeah.
Sheep with pigtails is right. And then the one on the left is fancy sheep with pigtails.
Yes.
As they basically just have a bunch of like extra curls.
The one on the left,
back.
the one on the left looks very sparse. You can see the kind of net underneath,
Are these historic wigs? Were these worn by prominent advocates in days of yore?
I believe in this picture, it does look like they might be sort of historical. I don't have any information about that. Libby's the history one.
Right. Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I actually did like try and do a lot of like looking into the history behind the wigs because I was like, okay, well then they're not powdered wigs, and I was like, why did people wear wigs? Like, where did these wigs come from? Why are we still wearing them now? And it's kind of a minefield of like why wigs were so popular. Like it did originate around like the 17th century, and there's a lot of talk about. Well, everyone like had like syphilis and shit back there, and their like hair was falling out, and like some kings around the time, Louis XIV and Charles II, maybe they had syphilis. I don't know. Maybe that's why they wore wigs,
right?
Because their hair was falling out. A lot of that stuff seems to be just like that's like the first thing that will come up when you're googling why did they wear wigs back then. The sort of like actual history seems a little bit more complicated and is probably kind of maybe syphilis was a part of it. Maybe it's just down to like fashion. I do think it really did stem from, well, if this is what the king is doing, then I guess it's cool.
Super.
Which is a crazy kind of world to live in, is to look at something the king is doing and think, oh man, yeah, shit, I got to look like that guy.
Yeah. Like in the hopes of being mistaken briefly for the king and receiving some
like hanging around, like the old stereotype of like hanging around a movie set so that a producer will go, hey, who's this kid over here?
He's got that something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Hey, kid, put this wig on. Yeah.
It is... Sorry, carry on.
No, that's it.
It is fun how much of history is figuring out whether a guy had syphilis and that's why he did the stuff he did.
Right.
I was reading a little bit of a book about medieval history that I've been reading the other night, and this exact thing was, I don't remember which Henry it was. I can never remember anything that I've read after I have read it, but it was a Henry, I want to say maybe the 4th, maybe got syphilis and it made him crazy and stupid. I realize I don't really know what about syphilis would make you need to wear a wig.
Yeah.
Because it can get really bad, right?
Wait, what?
It seems like syphilis is maybe like one of like the bad ones to get, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Can sort of cover you in little holes and make you go crazy. But I think the initial stages is, I guess sort of my hair's like falling out a little bit,
right,
and doesn't look that great. And this is a time in history where it's like it's nice to have long hair, because that's sort of like you're real healthy and sort of wealthy. You can maintain these long locks, and therefore it's really, really bad to be the king and to have your hair falling out. So why not put on a fancy wig and not worry about it?
Yes.
Growing long hair during what I think it seems like the golden age of lice in human history, like just. There's not sanitation. Like, it goes without saying that it smells crazy in there in every room that exists on Earth at that time.
Yeah.
The idea that countering that by being like, either I'm growing my hair long or I'm putting something on my horrible patchy head that will make it hotter and stranger is an unusual response.
Right. But you've got to look at wigs as like the hot new thing. It's like, so right now, I like, you have lice. The lice are there regardless. Right. So they're either going to be on my head all the time.
Non-negotiable. Right?
Or you can sometimes take the lice off your head.
Oh, that's nice. I have it just be like a lice hat. Like you're feeling like getting your itch on for a little while.
It's sort of nice that you're kind of making a little apartment for your lice, you know? And you take it off and you go, all right, we'll go to bed now. Good night.
Yes. Clocking out for the day. See you in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely big stink era. I think in those days, if you were drinking beer and it tasted of the river, you would say, yep, that's about right.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause it's mostly river water, and then there's also some other stuff that I don't understand, and some magic.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Magic, river stink, street stink, wig stink. Those wigs got to be, I mean, because, it get hot in summer. The stink everywhere. It get in the wig. There's no washing the wig. I mean, presumably.
If you're washing it, it's going right in the river. That's where the beer came from.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Pretty much, you're recycling the smells.
Well, if you're washing the wig, you're unfortunately taking it to your wig guy. Is the thing. That's the way that it's working.
Yeah.
There was a period where they were made out of. Go ahead, David.
I like the newfangled wig that the lady barrister was wearing in the pic that you had there, where it's like basically displacing the same amount of space on top of your head as like one of those Kangol hats would wear. Like it's kind of like a low profile deal.
No, it's definitely like the purpose of the wig now is not to make you believe it is your real hair. For sure. We've gone from that was sort of like the origins and the popularity, and then lots of people were wearing wigs, and then at some point that sort of trickles down into lots of people in law are wearing them as well, and then even later than that, in like the 1840s is when they like formalized that this is the way that if you're in court. If you're a barrister, if you're a judge, this is the way you're going to be looking now. You've got the little wig. You've got to wear the like robe as well. You've got to have the tiny little collar and the two little guys going down from it, and that is the way that you're going to look. And pretty much the reason that we still wear them is just because they haven't entirely gotten rid of it yet, which is crazy, and they have tried as well.
I was gonna ask, because there've been like in the way that they repeatedly tried to eradicate fox hunting. Like, what is the process through which you would do away with the wig culture?
Yeah.
Like, does it have to be voted on by people?
I believe it does have to be. It has to be voted on. It has to be decided. They've gotten rid of it for the most part. Is the thing, right? So the way that it works is that they are currently it's only used in criminal cases. And that's it. So anything outside of that, UK Supreme Court, it's like none of that is going to be involving the wigs anymore. But if you are doing a criminal case in the United Kingdom, then you probably have to pop the wig on. They have exceptions to that rule, but also for the most part, they are going to sort of like force people to do it all the same.
Yeah.
Why should I explain any more about this when we have what's his name? He's got a great name. Oh yeah, Englishman Mike.
No.
Yeah, we have Englishman Mike here who he can explain it all for us. You guys want to explain what you're seeing real quick?
Yeah. So a man who looks like the old New England Patriots logo. Wearing a robe, a jurist's robe, and then Libby, you should do the hair because
Well, what I would say, I think I would generously call this an ill-fitting wig. I would say both the robe and the wig are sort of giving Go Off King's theme week where they've ordered their costumes from Amazon, and Stefan didn't have that many options because he's in Canada, so he basically had to get the only ones they had. The robe is very very hairdresser.
Paying $11.99 for a bag that says "Weird Judge" on it, and just dealer's choice. Let's see where this goes.
Clearly photoshopped on the front, and it's It's look, I'll say this: the wig has a lot of hair on it. It's not doesn't look like it's really necessarily sitting on the right place on the head.
No, it doesn't. Look, I'm just going to be honest. I don't think he's bought the right wig, but that's fine because when I did look into. I was like, so do these guys still have to buy their own wigs now? Like, how does that work? And I did find a shop where you can buy them, where they still make them, and they make them out of the horsehair as well, which is what they originally are made out of. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I mostly just was really happy to find that there's a guy called Englishman Mike who basically is doing the same type of content that we are doing, Libby. This is one of our competitors.
It's a big market, though. There's room for you all and for Englishman Mike.
Englishman Mike's got 19 million subscribers.
This is our guy.
Yeah, lives in a mansion. Yeah.
Let's hear what he has to say.
What's with the wigs, English barrister? Let's find out. I like your outfit. Is it just for show? Absolutely not. There's a long history behind this get-up. I'd love to hear about it. Can you tell me about the wig? It's actually called a peruke. In the 1600s, it was seen as a symbol of authority. Lawyers wore them in the courtroom and outside. Whose idea was it to start this tradition? That will be His Royal Highness King Charles
I don't think that's
II.
true, but that's fine.
And why do English barristers still wear the wig today? Because continuity and anonymity are important. The wig draws attention away from the barrister.
It draws attention
towards the
away from the barrister.
Classic, yes.
Is it itchy? Like you wouldn't believe.
That's Englishman Mike.
What I love about this guy's voice is that he sounds like English fucking guy from The Godfather. What's his name?
Yes.
Yeah, Marlon Brando. Like,
Yes.
He's English Marlon Brando.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
Nigel Brando. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why have you come to me the day of my big trial at the Royal High Court?
May your first wig be an itchy horsehair wig. Yeah, that I like that. So for people that are listening to this, that you should know that he's talking to himself. He's wearing two different costumes, but he's not altering his voice in any way. So it has this kind of like liturgical aspect to it, like a priest saying something and then the congregation answering, but it's just a really hoarse British guy both times.
Yes, and I feel like a lot of the time when people do this format of content on like TikTok or YouTube or whatever, they have it so it's like there's one guy who's looking this way and then they have another guy who's looking this way.
Yeah,
and
right. This is classic. This is, I mean, this is my shit. This is classic 2007 YouTube. That's where we invented it. We're going to be on one side and then we're going to jump cut and we're going to be on the other side. But he just sits right in the middle. He's staring right at the camera.
It is basically a matter of wearing a different hat.
Oh, he's so nice. I love Englishman Mike.
Yeah, no, I think we will. I do want to explore more Englishman Mike. We'll have to do that on a finest episode, maybe on a tube, and see what he's got cooking.
Yes.
But yeah, they do still make these things. I came across this company called Ede and Ravenscroft.
Oh yeah, in Oxford.
They are the oldest tailors in London, is the way that they like to market themselves.
Okay,
I think they must also have. I think they have two locations. One of them is in London, and maybe the second one is in Oxford.
Okay, I think actually why I knew it is that I think they did my graduation gown, and that's where I know the name from.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fancy shit.
Well,
because they
no, but yeah,
no, but yeah.
I assume that the oldest tailor in London would be able to have some absolutely psychotic, like, since 1219 we've been making, like, what year do they claim is the
we're not that far back, but we've got 1689.
Super.
That's the established under the big logo. And one of these puppies is going to set you back. If you're going to get one of the cheap ones, you're looking at £582.50 for your horsehair wig, which they do make on site as well. But I mean, if you're gonna splurge, then you're gonna be wanting to get the frizz top, of course. The frizz top is the big one. This will set you back, and I do want to show you this one. This is £2,250 for the frizz top horsehair bar wig.
That's just got all the different everything that you could have on a wig is happening on that.
Man, it's crazy to think about, like, styling the wig. Are you using frizz serum on your wig? The frizz seems to be important to the wig here.
The frizz is clearly important because it is such a huge markup to get the frizz.
Right.
Even though, really, as far as I can tell, the non-frizz one, I guess it does look worse, but
it looks
it's not
very
like
fucking similar.
Yeah.
It's not like it looked good, but it is incredibly similar in terms of the look. I mean, so much of the work of these wigs is being done with the little rolls at the back for sure. That's really where the focus is going to go.
Nan's perm, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has it looks like when people would like put rollers in their hair.
That's what I'm thinking of. Nana. Yeah. Nana, when you see Nana in the morning before she's taking her rollers out.
You got to pay extra if you want to have that look for yourself. You want to steal Nana's look.
Steal Nana's look. Oh my god. Ratty dressing gown. Marks and Spencer's, 19 pounds. Old slippers. Marks and Spencer's, 14 pounds.
Wig, $2,780.
I am sort of thinking we could get one.
We could get one. So one of us would be the one who would have it. I have to imagine. I mean, the one I found, like I said, they're making them in-house. They're making them with the horsehair, right? It is like this is the peak.
Can you get one used? Maybe if I look on eBay.co.uk, could I find an old barrister's wig? Let's say
you might be able to get one used.
Barrister's wig wheel.
Again, I was so curious about, like, is this really like school uniform territory, right? Where you're gonna have this sort of specialist shop and you're gonna have to pick up all the little bits. I found an interview with Amal Clooney, who was talking to People magazine about it, and she said, "You get it when you're a really junior lawyer making no money. You walk out having spent $1,000 on something that's going to make you look really bad."
Oh, I love that. I love that.
That's kind of the reality of the situation, I guess, unless you can get a hand-me-down from one of your barrister friends or find one on eBay or whatever.
Huh. I found one on eBay. Ravenscroft and Willis barrister wig in tin collars, tabs, studs, and receipts, 1970. This is £284 and 73 pence with no bids. Ends in 2 days. So I'm feeling like it's possible we could get. I mean, it does look like it smell crazy in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The combination of it being a barrister's wig and then also like circa 1970 means that it has been just marinated in cigarette smoke for much of its life.
This is collected oils and stinks for sure.
Oh, that just looks like a pelt. That
looks nasty.
Yeah,
but
we gotta put it on a thing. Like all the other ones are on a stand or a fake head.
There's bits on the kitchen counter.
It looks so bad, just laid limp on the
flopping
kitchen.
it down there. It looks like just
counter.
Your dog bringing you that from outside, being like, "Look what I found! It was
exactly.
in the woods."
Yes, this is actually very much reminding me of the time that our cat found a clearly already dead bantam. And brought it in through the cat flap and just put it on the hall carpet, and we were like, "Buddy, you didn't kill that.
Yep.
You didn't kill that."
Stolen valor.
Yeah.
One of the things they do seem to value when it comes to the wigs, though, is age, right? So again, I have this video which is from Great Big Story, where they were talking to the people at Eden Ravenscroft about making their wigs and how they will pick specific, like, I think it's like horse tail hair, and they will make sure that they get the ones that are not too white. You want like a little bit of brown in there because that gives the sort of like illusion that the wig is older than it is, and the age of the wig denotes experience in this world. So you could accidentally, if you're not in the know, you could show up with the sort of bright white new wig on your first day at work, and look like an absolute idiot because like you're such a fucking noob in this world. Your wig is so white, you moron.
I need to clear something up.
Go ahead.
I said bantam because that is the word that my stepdad used in 2006 when the cat brought the bird in. But that is just apparently refers to any old fucking chicken. So before, I know someone is in the middle of an email to us right now. You stupid bitch, you said bantam, that's nothing, you fucker. It was some kind of big bird, bit like a pheasant or something.
Some kind of big bird, wasn't it? I wanted to show you a little bit of, because okay, so they, had them a really long time ago because everyone was into wigs. They sort of became formalized in the world of law in the UK. We've mostly gotten rid of them, but we still sort of have like some leftovers. So the question then becomes like, well, what is the reason that people are giving for why they still wear them? Mm-hmm. Like, what is because people will go into work wearing these things today. What is the justification that they have at least made up in their own minds as to why they are doing it? So that was the thing I was like interested in, like coming out of that. So again, from this great big story video, I wanted to just highlight the end of it. With this guy. He's called Andrew Eborn. Fucking hate this guy. really, really, really interesting to sort of get his insight.
Why is he sitting in such an empty room?
I know, I love it.
This is just, I mean, because he's a lawyer, and this is what fancy lawyers do, is they sit in a room with a bunch of
I like that
big
the
old
shelves
books.
Are a little fucked up as well. Like that bookshelf is breaking in this video.
Yes. It's kind of like tiered, right? It's like, like staggered. It's it's like falling down slowly over time. That's the design choice. Anyway, here's old Andrew.
The reason you wear the wig is mainly threefold. You deal with the solemnity of the court proceedings. You deal with the tradition. But most of all, it's about anonymity. It's like most uniforms. People wear uniforms because they are the great equalizer. Juries shouldn't be able to distinguish between the different advocates appearing before them. The feeling you get when you put on the wig for the first time is extraordinary because it's a rite of passage. It's rather similar, if you like, to a knight putting on his armour. What you're doing, you're getting ready for battle.
The same thing.
All the years
of
work that went into becoming a barrister paid off. As a result of it, you actually feel ready, battle ready, if you like. You're getting in the mood, in the right sort of frame of mind to take on the case.
You know he's given that same speech at like a really fancy dinner party like 10 times about like how proud he is to be wearing his wig.
It's not unlike armor, and everybody's like,
Oh,
you're right. Yeah, it's definitely not unlike that at all. Some really great shots of him contemplating the wig in that bit, though.
Yes.
He's holding it up before him, some alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well type shit. Like,
exactly. Yes. I was less generously thinking that is a speech he has given to a board escort, probably 4 times a year.
Oh, God, that's so right, Libby. But yeah, that sort of like sums up a lot of the like justifications that people give. They're like, well, it's an even playing field, right? So you're not going to have one lawyer showing up in a really nice suit with a great haircut who's going to be able to sway the court in that sense. So it's going to like, make everyone look the same.
Yeah.
So that's going to be helpful. Anonymity is a thing that they bring up a lot as well.
That's
which
so
is
stupid.
It is so stupid to think that like, okay, I'm being convicted in this case and I want to kill this judge, but I can't for the life of me figure out who this guy is because of the wig he
could be anyone. Yeah, that's really good.
Oh God, yeah, and especially now also like. We live in modern times where I guess sometimes one of these barristers might be a lady.
Yeah, what lawyer was a lady?
Yeah, horrible. I hate it. I hadn't really thought about, like, this is one of those things I hadn't really considered. Like, I knew it as a funny thing. Like, oh yeah, they wear the wigs. But until you showed us the picture of the one with holding her Costa coffee, it had not fully dawned on me how insane this is to be going into court and putting on your special court wig. That I'll give it to the Americans on this one who make fun of us for our backwards customs. This one is crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we as a country, I mean America now I'm talking about, like the fact that we've hung on to the fact that lawyers are supposed to be wearing like formal suits and stuff, like we may be in the last days of that as well. I feel like that it's, you know, ordinarily I would say that standing on ceremony is not necessary with stuff like this. And obviously no one has a justification for why your lawyer should be wearing a suit beyond that. Like you wouldn't want to be defended by someone who is wearing like cargo shorts and like a big dogs t-shirt or whatever. But I feel like as a country, we're definitely in the like, Your Honor, if it pleases the court, and like that guy's just dressed like Guy Fieri. Like that's where we're headed.
Sure.
And like, so whatever. Good. I don't want to say good for you sticking with the wigs, but like it's nice that there's still some sort of tradition, even if it's only cared about by the absolute most obnoxious old rich guys imaginable.
Yes. Here's what I'll say. The grand experiment of what if we had a senator who wore a hoodie turned out really, really bad.
Yep.
And I think has swung public opinion all the way around again to actually maybe you should wear a fucking suit, you fucking dipshit.
I know. It's kind of amazing that because like I don't, you know, live in Pennsylvania. There's really no skin off my nose of that one way or the other. That was beyond all of the obnoxious things that John Fetterman has actually done, it is where I go first every time I read about like him casting a vote that's, you know, being like, you know, just a objectively pro-genocide statement.
Yes.
And the first thought in my head is like, and I bet that motherfucker was wearing big basketball shorts when he did it. I bet he was dressed like Adam Sandler when he did it.
Yes.
And like, there's other things to care about there, but that part of it is where I check down to.
It's insult to injury, to think about the you know, passing a resolution to rename every post office in America after a 19-year-old Israeli general that he's also wearing basketball shorts and just is a horrible ogre that I hate. I think just lose the wig. Like I think the gown is fine. It's just. And one thing I did find out is that the judges in specific cases can say, actually, it's too hot for wigs today, so don't worry about the wigs. And I feel like more judges need to be saying, hey, guys, it's actually, we're chill with no wigs today. Yeah. I feel like there's enough solemnity here that we can figure out how seriously to take this. We can take the little horsetail thing that's all stinky off our heads. So there was another video that I don't have time to show you guys, but I maybe we'll do it in a finest, which is this barrister called Dominic D'Souza, who literally said that when he puts on the wig, it feels like it's like he's going from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde or whatever. Which that's not good, is it?
It's not good. Yeah. No.
It's like I'm going from the version of myself that's not a werewolf to the version of me that has turned into a werewolf.
Right. This is the thing that allows me to. Disassociate and argue the most evil things that anyone has ever said. You know, in favor of Nestle having child soldiers or whatever the fuck it was. That's nasty business. I don't like them. And Charlotte, what is the difference between a barrister and a solicitor?
Ooh.
Thank you so much for sending us your British thought. And if you have a British thought for us, feel free to send it to whatsallthispost@gmail.com. In court or out of court, I think is the way that works.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, there we go.
Easy peasy.
Well, let's do our main topic, shall we?
Let's do our main topic.
It's the Daily Mail, and it's going in Iceland tier. So let's do Libby's game.
No, come on, Charlotte. We got to talk about it a little bit. David, you pitched this to me by saying, "What about that twat who runs the Washington Post?"
Yeah.
Speak on that.
Well, I'm fascinated by where they keep finding these guys. This appears to me that this is like one of the imports has not been affected by the new tariff regime is just bringing over alcoholic reactionaries from British newspapers to run American newspapers. And the guy that they brought in to run the Washington Post was someone that he was from the Daily Telegraph or something like that, or it was like a conservative broadsheet. It wasn't like a Daily Mail type of guy. But once you start noticing these dudes, and I guess in some cases these ladies, they're fucking everywhere. The Daily Beast is run by people that are like former British newspaper types. And that the woman that runs that is, I believe, like probably a liberal. Like she's not like a classic slavering Tory import like a lot of these.
Right.
But there's something that is just kind of identifiably tonally off about, or at least not off, un-American about the way that these guys communicate. And there's something to me really baffling about, I mean, it's easier to understand now that like basically since I was messaging Libby about this over the weekend, like 10 more prominent people have left the Washington Post. Like they're blowing it up. That's what this guy's there to do.
Yes.
But there was a period of time, and having been inside of websites that were getting blown up on purpose, I probably was naive not to notice this, where I was kind of like, what are these guys, like when Jeff Bezos sits down with a dude like this, what is he impressed by? Like, what is the thing that is striking them? And I guess the idea is just that they're coming from a healthy news media economy comparative to the United States. And so they're like, well, this guy runs a newspaper that makes money, so presumably he could do that here. Like, where do you think this shit comes from?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me not to see, to imagine conversations like that as detached from politics, basically like the Jim Spanfeller conversations. You know, these guys who are pitching dipshits on how they're going to get every story to have a million hits. You know, like, do you remember like early on in the Jim Spanfeller period at GO RIP? I remember him saying, or was it Paul Maidment saying something like, you know, why aren't all of these stories getting, 300,000 hits or something? You know, just complete lack of understanding of the thing that they have bought, or, are allegedly like the experts in. And I feel like these guys, I mean, first of all, yes, actually the Daily Mail, insanely successful.
Yes.
Economically and culturally, politically, extremely powerful in England. But that model of tabloid journalism, I guess, whatever you call it, tabloidism, I feel like that's a very strong pitch to someone who owns a newspaper but doesn't really know how to read or want it to be a newspaper. Or is maybe more specifically is bored of it being a newspaper and just wants it to be, because I'm sure when Bezos bought the Washington Post, it was like, oh, I'm going to buy this prestigious thing, I'm going to buy this prestigious newspaper. It's like it's good to have this. It makes me look like a cultural elite or whatever.
A thing that a rich guy does.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's bored of that and wants it to be, I'm sure probably wants it to be nice to him, primarily, and to reflect the horrible reactionary politics that seems to be winning right now. One thing that I found interesting is I read an article, this is from last year, about the Daily Mail US kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
I would love to know if that's still, I mean, by falling apart, I'm sure it's still, streets ahead of much better websites, but lots of people leaving, and they were specifically saying that they were, like David said, bringing in tons of British twats to run this American website.
Surprised that it wasn't working that way, but I think that's basically it. Is that like the American version of that is like the New York Post, and it is even that is like it's too regional a species of insanity to fully translate to a national audience. Whereas it does seem like the Daily Mail is like the national tabloid of an entire country, which is is that fair to say? I know there's like other regional smaller ones and stuff.
Right. Well, coming at this from a dumb bitch non-journalist perspective, right? I just remember thinking, why are my American friends occasionally sending me articles from Daily Mail US? Do they not know how bad this shit is? Because it definitely is like the Daily Mail reader is such like a type of person. It's basically just sort of like synonymous when it comes to like just the like the picture of like a Tory. It's just like the same kind of like, you just have the same mental image when it comes to that type of type of guy. And so to see sort of like a version of that would like stripped away of all of like the kind of like cultural baggage that I put on it just from being in the UK was very weird to see when that started happening. Yeah,
I would say like earlier in my media career, I think I had the same thing where I'm like, I think there are like normal people who are working at the Daily Mail US and maybe they don't know that they're working for like one of the most evil newspapers certainly the most evil newspaper in Britain and possibly, in the world. Just like unbelievably evil and Tory and dedicated to just the worst kind of scummy sub-Thatcherite even politics, just nasty fuckers. Sorry?
I was just going to say, this really summed it up for me, was finding out that the Daily Mail became Wikipedia's first depreciated source.
Yes.
That you cannot use the Daily Mail as a reference on Wikipedia because of how unlikely it is that the information in it will be true.
Yes.
Merely because it is newspaper shaped does not mean that it can be used in a newspaper style way.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a pretty cold shot. Seems completely deserved too. I mean, I think that's it. New York Post is a similar sort of thing where it's like, because the name of it is formatted in the way that newspapers are supposed to be, where it's like city thing, like Modesto B, Sacramento, whatever I don't know. I picked a bad city there. I don't know what the Kings. That there's like something about the way that the Post is, like, it could trick you. Although this is the other bit in terms of people sharing stories from it. The Daily Mail and the Daily Mail US are both instantly identifiable if you have ever looked at a website on your phone or laptop as being like, nothing is true on this site. Like, it is jammed with ads and shit. It's impossible to read. Stuff is popping up all over the damn place. It is, which is, again, also very Jim Spanfeller of you. But it is like they were able to take that kind of the experience of reading a bit of untrue celebrity gossip on a bus while everyone else on the bus is screaming, which is basically the classic tabloid experience to me. Like, they've managed to take that and build a web version of it that feels exactly like it.
Yes. Yeah. I certainly, I feel like when I first started encountering Daily Mail US headlines, it was more, side boob stunner, like whatever the 2015 equivalent of that was.
Yep.
Can I just real quick say one of the headlines that popped out to me when I was just looking at the Daily Mail, just because it really made me laugh. Scientists discover Earth has 2 new seasons.
Okay, what are they? Must know. New seasons just dropped. What are they?
What are the new seasons? We've got the Haze season. The Haze season is new. And Trash season. So they seem to be. I don't know where they come between the 4 that we're used to. But look out for Haze and Trash. I can't wait to dress for Haze season. Get my jumpers out for Haze season.
The science section of the Daily Mail is one of the most accursed ideas imaginable to me. Just as a concept, the idea of being like, well, I'm very interested in what's going on in the world scientifically. And that's why I'm reading this story about scientists in the season discovery community who've been hard at work at this, presumably for their whole careers, discovering that trash season is real and making that announcement in a peer-reviewed journal. The Journal of the Seasons, I think, is a big one there. That concept, I remember once thinking about pitching a story like this when I was freelancing about the science section of Fox News, and it was 100% at that time was 100% just the idea of like, maybe you could leave your kid in a hot car for a little while and then just imaginary stuff about space. Like, it was like 80% UFO
meteor about
content.
To kill us.
Yeah.
Charlotte, unfortunately, I need to pause the recording briefly because the Los Angeles County building inspector is here and needs to check that our smoke alarm works. So I don't know what you want to do. Do you want to carry on, or
we could try. We can try and carry on.
Like, if I just fuck off for a sec, you guys, do you think you guys could carry on chatting, or
can we do a podcast just the 2 of us, or we can do our best, Libby?
Let's do it.
All right. Here's what we'll do. I'll see how long this is going to take, and then
I'll come back. Yeah, go ahead.
Right on.
And listeners, you'll either get a peek behind the curtain of this or not, depending on what Pat wants to do. One thing I did discover when I was looking through the Daily Mail is that they did once upon a time actually write an article about me.
Oh no.
I am in the Daily Mail.
That is a fucking nightmare. Like that is.
Yes.
How did, well, I mean, you can talk about it or not talk about it all you want, but how did this come to happen to you?
This came to happen to me without any consent on my part. I do believe that I had enough wherewithal when I was 21 years old to go, no, actually, I don't think I want to be interviewed by the Daily Mail. Thank you very much. But during sort of like peak YouTube era stuff, I guess there were simply enough articles floating around about me that they were able to just sort of like, hodgepodge something together. So I wanted to just like read a couple of little moments from this. So the headline, it says, and I will misgender myself in this because I just want to read it as it is.
Hey, thanks, Charlotte.
You got it, Libby, and welcome back. It says, I'm having a moment. Charlie McDonald. That's the headline here. I'm having a moment, which is lovely. And then the first line says, not another Justin Bieber. I just can't keep up.
Is that what you said about Justin Bieber?
No, I didn't. So again, I was not interviewed for the piece about me in the Daily Mail. Right. This is whoever wrote this just decided that I was another Justin Bieber, which I thought was very funny. Because I think it was just like I'm gonna look at a boy with the hair that just like swoops across the front of the face, and that's enough. Like you're like well known enough, and you have the hair that you fit into that, even if you're not doing anything else that Justin Bieber is doing.
And that is how you get downgraded to a junk stock by Wikipedia. Is the journalist hired to write that story? It's like bangs. Okay, I got it. I'll have 1,100 words for you in 30 minutes, and it just goes ahead and knocks it out.
Hey,
was it written as a sort of a like meet the YouTuber that you are going to read part of an article about and then get upset about in the comments? Or was it like legitimately trying to introduce you to people because you were having a moment?
It was not like they were looking at me and going, this person is going to be annoying, which I'm more mad about now in hindsight that that the Daily Mail didn't look at me and go, I hate this person.
Instantly identify you as an enemy. That's not
exactly
anything. You were young.
It's very much they were looking at me and just going, this person is harmless enough, and I guess we need to fill some space on this article we've already written, which is a Q&A with America Ferrera, which is, for whatever reason, I am the second part of that article.
Truly no idea what the format is here. This is probably some artifact of print journalism that we don't understand as modern people. In
general, the formatting is very hard to understand there. The way that articles are written, even if you've read like TMZ, which is basically like trying to read something while someone is just punching you in the back of the head the whole time, the way it's punctuated, the syntax, all of it is insane to me.
Yep.
The Daily Mail is like, even accounting for the fact that it's like, British English and not American English, the stories just look weird.
Yes.
Like where did that come from? Do you know an answer to that?
Oh, no idea. I mean, the headline thing, like obviously Daily Mail headlines have their own cadence, and we'll talk about that a little bit during our game. But British headlines in general have a totally different, what's the word? So not exactly format, but like structure. You're allowed to put quotes that are not quotes in headlines in the UK. They are crazy.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of strange. It's always been baffling to me to a degree how popular the Daily Mail is, both the print edition and the website edition. It looks ugly. It's horrible. Everything they put on there is bad. It seems unpleasant to read. I'd sort of, now that it is, to me at least, more, the last few years, I think more like Breitbart-esque, the US version. It's just fully conservative as well. I don't remember it being so much that way, like when it first started, the US edition or whatever. But it's an assault on the censors for sure. I think if I turned off my ad, it says my ad blocker is blocking 238 ads on the homepage.
Solid number.
This is one of the things that I found as I need a new ad blocker for if I ever need to go back to the Daily Mail again, because they are doing the thing where they're like, you've got an ad blocker, you're gonna have to turn that off if you want to get through.
Yeah, exactly.
So I gotta get the updated version for sure.
I don't use an ad blocker, and the experience that I had looking at the Daily Mail before this, can't really tell you why I don't use it. I'd love to say that it's like solidarity and wanting to support other websites and stuff. The Daily Mail, in a way that very, very few websites will do, made my computer instantly get very hot and the fan started blowing. Like it sounded like a jet engine was taking off. It is that type of website in both like formally and in terms of its content. Like really dire shit. The fact that they wouldn't let you read it with an ad blocker is incredible. Like, the idea of like, our journalism is important.
Right.
If you want to see up this person's skirt, you need to turn that ad off. Like,
yeah, they've got paywalled stories on Daily Mail Plus. Can you fucking imagine?
They do. I know. Crazy to want to read anything on the website, let alone be like, I want to pay for this. Unless in my case it's an article that they wrote about me a very long time ago. I want to go back to this briefly just because when people did start to write articles about me, that was the first time I realized how factually incorrect news media can be. When I was able to look at a story someone had written about me and I knew all of the facts of my life and be like, where did that come from? How did you find that out? So I wanted to just read this here. So again, this is directly from the article. He has already presented a series of behind-the-scenes Doctor Who specials for the BBC. That I did do. That is true. Snubbed an offer from Celebrity Big Brother. That does sound like something that they would have made up, but that is actually also mostly true. I did get a phone call from someone at Endemol, and they asked me to be on Big Brother, and I just immediately said no. And continued the conversation. He's also being sponsored by L'Oreal. This one this is the only one I have never seen anywhere else online. There was for a long time there was a rumor that I appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, which did sort of follow along from lots of different stuff. Maybe they just looked and they were just like, oh, the hair is shiny. I honestly have no idea where that one came from. But anyway, we can move on from that.
I can't imagine. It's actually is terrifying to me to think about having been written about in the Daily Mail, because they are truly vicious. One of the tabloids that will basically send a journalist to go through your rubbish and climb through your bedroom window and take photos of you coming out of the abortion clinic and stuff like that. I mean, just like absolutely horrible. So the idea of them getting their hands on the concept of me is very terrifying.
I mean, that is also like classic New York posty, like tabloidy type stuff. But there's something about the work rate is higher. Like I can't say that I respect it, but it is true. Like they're, straight up making up the L'Oreal sponsorship. That's aces. But the other bit where they will like actually stalk you and like try to fuck with your life to get like a blog post out of it. I mean, the Post kind of does that, but it's also lazier. Like it is like fundamentally designed to be read by people that hate New York City but are obsessed with New York City, which is a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of people around it. Whereas the Daily Mail seems like it's just for people that want to be mad.
100%, yes. Yep. And this is, I think, that the reason that the Daily Mail I think is worth talking about, and that made me think this is a topic for us, is because it does get to a specific part of the British character that is truly loathsome. The sort of Daily Mail reader mindset is, I mean, it truly is like prejudiced, small, angry, like hateful, valuing a past that doesn't exist. All the many things that exist in America, but there's something specifically, I don't know, Charlotte, maybe I'm projecting a little bit, but to me, I can picture a Daily Mail reader in my head, and I hate them.
And I hate them.
And there's millions of them. There's so many. That was the thing. It's like, I grew up with a very left-wing mum. She taught me early on to hate Tories and hate, most newspapers. And she told me from a very young age, there's only really at this time 2 newspapers that you can trust, The Guardian and The Independent. And kind of The Mirror was the more left-leaning tabloid, but it's still a tabloid,
Mm-hmm.
And obviously The Guardian and The Independent, well, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
But, she taught me to hate the Daily Mail, and I'm fucking glad she did. And just that experience of going into the supermarket and seeing the front page of the Daily Mail, and it'll be like, pregnant single mum with 8 kids on benefits, tries to buy a nice dinner for her kids, and we hate her for it,
Yeah.
Or immigrant tries to go to store or whatever. It's just like the most whipping up fury against, everything that I value. Actually, everything
Also,
that I think is good.
Just the idea of that type of person existing is
Yes.
enough too. I mean, again, I'm just hearing the echoes of this in the post where there's like
Mm-hmm.
a regular beat of like a guy who he described himself as like a freelancer for the post, but his thing is basically some dickhead is at one of those enormous delis in Midtown that's got like a sushi bar and a salad bar.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I saw a homeless guy taking croutons off the salad bar. Disgusting. And
Yeah.
then like that becomes a story on the fucking website. Like, and it's not only is it not news or whatever, it is basically just like something that you would see through the window of a moving car and be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And that's like a business model somehow.
Yes, it is 100% like they are really obsessed with, crime, obviously, more than anything. Like individual examples of terrible stuff, that don't necessarily speak to a larger news story at all, but that are, sensational or disgusting or horrifying in some way, sort of presenting that as like the most important thing that is happening in Britain at any one time. And yes, especially if it can be done in a way that, oh no, Charlotte's fire alarm is going off. Oh no. That's 2 fire alarm related mishaps with both.
I'm ready. I'm next.
Both hosts. Yeah. I mean, hopefully you're all right. Now, Charlotte, do you want to tell us, is everything okay?
Everything is okay. They are. So this is just a thing that happens in my building, and I'm going to try and talk quickly. Sometimes they will just do fire alarm. The fire alarm in this building is always fucking going off.
Yeah.
And I am never in any danger. I think the alert that they just announced is like, I think they are trying. It sounds like they are maybe trying to figure out what the issue is with it going off so much.
Amazing.
And as part of the testing, they might do some tones. Pat, you're gonna have the time of your life editing this one.
Pat.
But we'll see what we'll just keep pushing on. Go ahead,
Can
Libby.
I ask one question
Yes.
of Libby about the Daily Mail reader in your head? Does this person consider themselves to be well informed?
Oh my God, great question. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Like they just know about how bad everything is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they probably don't think of themselves necessarily as like, educated in an academic sense or whatever, but they love reading. They know what's going on, and they know the real thing that's happening. Like when I got my green card and we were hanging out with some extended family, and they asked me how it was going. And this is an American, obviously, but just as an example, they asked me how the green card stuff was going, and I was like, well, I've been waiting for ages. I don't have my travel or my work permit yet, so it's kind of like scary what happens if I lose my job and stuff like that. And they said, now how come they give everything to the terrorists and they don't give anything to people like you? And knowing that came from something, they had read something that made them think that they give everything to the terrorists. That if you're a terrorist, you apply for the terrorist visa and you go straight to the head of the queue.
Get a smartphone on your way in.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the Obama phone, you get Obama internet, you get free food, free everything.
Yeah, why do you think they do that? Why do you think they do that? Let them have that, Libby? Why
It
do you think
seems
that is?
weird, doesn't it?
Right?
It seems
and it makes
like...
me upset. I actually have a hard time sleeping when I think about it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's why I think about it all the time.
That's why
I like to get mad about it every day. I wake up and that's the first thing I think about.
it's
getting a free phone.
It's great. It's great to me when I read a bunch of fake shit that makes me angry.
This is the bit that I get. sort of, well, it's not the one bit, but it's something that I come back to when I have to think or write about this stuff, which is like, life is hard even if you don't pay attention to politics. It's just a lot of annoying stuff happening.
Yeah.
Maybe your fire alarm is going off constantly. The building where you live. But I have no problem feeling upset. I don't need to turn on my TV or read something to do it. The idea of there being this entire parallel media ecosystem that is designed to make you upset in a way that makes you smaller, dumber, lazier, and worse is unreal to me. Like, because that's happening to me naturally anyway. My mind is going. Like, I'm not a young man, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
The idea of, like, getting dumber as a way of informing yourself is just, I feel like, confused by the appetite for it.
And I think what it is because obviously when I read the news, I get very upset. For example, there's an ongoing genocide, and that's pretty fucking horrible. And I get upset when I read about it, but know that I need to read about it.
Yes.
The Daily Mail reader is getting upset by, for example, a headline I saw yesterday was that too many graduates are on benefits because they haven't because they're getting Mickey Mouse degrees that don't get them jobs.
Yeah.
That has been being said since I was in school. Members of my family in the UK, I remember when I got my GCSE results, which were good, and the first thing that this person said to me was, it's just such a shame that exams are so easy now. Because she had read in the newspapers that exams were getting easier every year, and kids weren't being taught properly anymore, and it was too easy to get an A. And they've been saying that shit about too many kids are getting A's at school, or too many kids are getting first class degrees, or degrees are worthless now. They've been saying that shit for 20 fucking years, and I cannot imagine being mad about that. Yeah. It's like the college wokeness thing in the US. It's like, I want to be mad about this thing that is really not fucking important, but that makes me feel good, because when I was a teenager, it was hard. And when I went to school, it was hard,
Yeah. Sometimes it is like, I feel like the reason that people might listen to a podcast or watch a video essay is you want to hear the right opinion to have, right? And I feel like it is like people wanting to know what is the thing that they need to be mad at now, right?
And what makes them a good person? What makes them a proper English person? That doing things the right way. I don't know. I fucking hate the Daily Mail. I fucking hate the Daily Mail. If you work for the Daily Mail, threat.
Say it. All right. I really thought I was going to get a proper piss off from you there.
Piss off. Yeah.
Piss off.
Piss off a Daily Mail.
Do the thing. Yeah. Do one of these.
Off.
Yeah. The two.
Oi, Daily Mail. Back off. Let's rank the Daily Mail real quick, because we know David's got to go on his way, and I really want you guys to play my game.
We got to play Libby's game. Okay,
yeah.
Let's. Well, we are ranking the Daily Mail as we always do on our supermarket tier list, which is based after British supermarkets. S tier being Waitrose, A being Marks and Spencer, B being Sainsbury's. It feels stupid to read all of this out when we know where it's going. C being Tesco, D Morrison's, E Asda, and F Iceland. Libby, where are you going to put the Daily Mail on our tier list?
Well,
a thinker.
They do have some interesting articles about things that might give you cancer, and that's really nice because I don't want to get cancer, and so I will actually, check those out so I can make sure that I'm not having chocolate or beef or cheese, or I'm having not enough chocolate or beef or cheese to get no cancer. It's obviously Iceland. Fuck it. What maybe the worst thing about Britain? I hate it. Bin.
Yes. Absolutely one of the worst things about Britain. I'm going to put it in an F tier as well. The day that I found out that my mum told me that my stepdad Trevor was reading the Daily Mail was truly so heartbreaking to me.
Trevor.
And I know, Trevor, and he was like, well, they have good sport in there.
I was wondering if they had. That was the question I didn't ask, because that was always the argument on behalf of the New York Post, is that like, yeah, it's like 75% of it is just uncut Nazi shit, but then at the back they got two guys covering the Mets, so you're getting the whole story.
Right, and this is very much what Trevor was saying. And then one day, this is pre-transition for me, I heard Trevor talking about what's going to happen to, a trans woman in a women's prison. And I'm like, oh no, Trevor, you have picked up the wrong information here. I'm very concerned. I really hope you're not falling down the wrong rabbit hole. One of the recent times I was on a call with my family and Trevor was in the background. He was like, oh, it's Will and the girls, referring to me and my sister. And I was like, my mum, thank God my mum is there to save Trevor. My mum always knew to turn me off the Daily Mail. But yeah, it's Iceland for sure,
Iceland.
David. Where
I don't
popping it.
I don't know the supermarkets that well, but even in the class of like media, the just like toilet grade sludge where like 90% of the headlines are basically with an implied "so let's fucking kill them" at the end of it after it. Even by those standards, it sucks. Artless, website is impossible to look at. Worldview, shockingly vile. Iceland sounds about right. Is Iceland like just full of like possums? Like how bad is
I'll
the
say this.
supermarket?
The Daily Mail makes Iceland look like fucking Waitrose, David.
Yeah, get their asses. Jeez.
Iceland definitely sucks. It's a place that mostly sells frozen food, or its thing was selling frozen food for busy mums. But the food sucks and it's nasty in there.
Also, just to be completely clear, because one person did email us saying, what is the beef between the United Kingdom and Iceland? We are not talking about the country
Supermarket.
Iceland.
Yeah.
It's a supermarket. It's
Yeah.
on the supermarket tier. We didn't just inexplicably put a country at the end of it.
We didn't.
Blasting people whose last name ends in Dottir. Putting them on notice.
Real quick before the game, I have to read out the name of the chairman of the Daily Mail.
Please.
Oh, it's so good. I was hooting
it's
at
fucking
this.
insane. So his name is, let's see if you can remember this, Jonathan Harold Esmond Vere Hamsworth 4th Viscount Rothermere. Is that not? And of course, he is the great grandson of Harold Sidney Hamsworth, 1st Viscount of Rothermere, who founded the company originally.
Out of the country, holy shit.
Founded the country.
He must have
It's
been
all
old
because
as hell.
we've all got old Sydney to thank.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Anyway,
Man,
an
posh
insane
people-
name.
Yep.
Posh people just can't get enough names.
Yeah. Are the Rothermeres considered to be among the cooler posh Viscount types? Is that a good Viscount to be?
No idea.
All right,
Harold
good.
Harmsworth, 1st Viscount Rothermere. Oh, he's okay.
No
This
relation
guy.
to me, by the way, as far as I know.
Thank you. I will just show
You're not.
you quickly a picture of this old fuck. Because honestly, cunty.
Cunty?
Oh, all right.
A little cunty.
He looks like a little weasel. I mean, he's got a stare on him.
Yeah.
For sure. He
I
does
just
have
think
the stare.
He's pouting a little bit.
Oh, you know what? I am now saying the little pout. The mustache was covering it. He does have a little pout about him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get it.
He's actually basically just a hoe. All right, let's play. Let's play real or fake Daily Mail headlines. I've got some screenshots from the Daily
Yay.
Mail, and you guys are going to tell me whether I made this up or whether it's real.
Yay.
Thank you, Jesse Farrar, for the concept, real or fake. Daily Mail.
Jesse Farrar entered true. Jesse Farrar invented true or false. That's what we're going
Yes,
with.
he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll
All
get
right.
really mad if you don't say that he did. Greg's sausage rolls and pasties could shrink as fat jab use grows.
Nice quotes. We love to see a psychotic deployment of quotes,
Mhm.
more or less at random around words.
That's absolutely right.
Charlotte, do you want to go first?
I'm gonna say I think this one is real.
Okay.
I think this is a real one. I mean, I'm not super familiar, but I mean, some of these headlines are just sort of like insane. This does read as something that they would actually post.
Okay, David?
Yeah, it feels, it's like there's so much British shit in it that it is very hard for me to parse, honestly. Like there's like, I don't know what like half of this means, which is how I would hope that Libby would write a fake Daily Mail headline, but it feels real to me too. So I'm just going to trust my gut.
It is real. That's right.
Wow.
I don't think I could have come up with fat jab by myself without,
Yeah.
at
And the
least without a lot
quotes
of research.
around the quote's just around as fat jab use grows,
Right.
when they should at least just be around fat jab.
Right.
Just
That's
insane.
So is someone saying this? Like, is someone a scientist from the Institute of Seasoned Discovery is like, I've got something about Greg's sausage rolls and pastries as well. And like weighs in. Well, make sure you quote me on the record. It's
It's
Get
like
it
as the bird flies, it's as the fat jab
As fat
use grows.
All right, number 2. Furious woman finds just 12 crisps in her packet of McCoys, including the broken ones. Charlotte, real or fake?
That is, I think that is a fake one.
Okay.
I'm really liking I'm looking at the sort of just like the categories at the top. So one of them is just called female,
Oh,
but
yeah,
male spelled MAIL. What is?
That's their women's vertical.
That's the women. Okay, it's the female. It's where the women get their mail.
Mhm.
that's
Okay,
nice.
cool,
David?
lovely.
This is somehow too benign to feel real to me. Like, it is completely artfully done, but it was clearly done by someone with 3 numbers in their IQ, so I'm going to say that it is not a real daily headline.
This one is real.
Wow!
Fuck.
That's great.
This was a real story about
Fuck.
a woman who posted about having a packet of McCoys with just 12 crisps.
Including the broken ones. I love that.
Including?
Including
How
the
did-
broken ones.
broken
I love that you
ones.
have a headline with the brackets around including the broken ones. That's so good.
So they get these stories because, like, when someone puts an Instagram story up complaining about something and then they just write off of it.
Oh, yeah, there's tons of... I mean, it's not just
Yeah,
Daily
yeah,
Mail. Tons of tabloids will be like, what was that one we did on the...
The one about the woman on vacation where it was like, and it was all Greek food in Greece the whole time.
That's a great one. Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of people sent us that. But there was one that we did on the show, Charlotte, where it was like the longest crisp or something. What was it? The longest frazzle.
The
on
longest
the crisps
frazzle.
episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought you might think I made
as
this
long
one
as
up.
3 frazzles.
As
No,
long as
that-
3 frazzles, yeah.
Honestly, I thought I saw McCoy's and I was like, oh, we just did the finest about the chips. Yeah, the crisps even.
Yes,
Yeah,
to
anyway,
be clear, I
smart.
themed all of these around previous episodes that we've done by searching the Daily Mail for
Very smart.
episode topics that we've done. All right, number 3. Benefits mum puts cat in bin after binging on Percy Pigs meant for school charity fundraiser for local police.
Okay, this is a Libby. Okay, this is a Libby one.
What made you say that? What made you say that?
Because of how much you like to say putting things in the bin in all caps.
The capitalization is really good.
Put it in the bin.
Would you mind reading the first bit of the headline again out loud just to refresh my memory on how it goes?
Yes, David.
I don't know how to read.
Benefits mum puts cat in bin. Oh, puts.
Benefits
all right.
mum puts cat in bin. A little clue from Libby here with the double puts. Or is it a double bluff? Maybe maybe the Daily Mail would put puts in the title. It's a thinker, but I'm gonna have to go with fake. To be fair, Libby, I didn't notice that. So
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Well, David's an
It's all right.
editor. You know, he's good at this.
this is your
Also,
job.
I just wanted to hear you say puts cat in bin again. So, like, it wasn't, I was going to win either way. Like,
This one is fake. I wrote that one. Okay. Single mum outraged as kids forced to sit through drag queen story hour on Northern Line on their way to new shopping centre.
Ooh, I mean, this does sound like something that would happen on the Northern Line.
The crazy Northern Line.
I'm realizing I'm always going first and that we should be flip-flopping. David, what do you think?
well, all right. So, the bit of this that feels real to me is how much every bit of it sucks. Like, they're on their way to, like, someone putting up, like, recording themselves on their phone. They're going to a new mall and they're like, well, this is going very poorly. Like, that feels like a Daily Mail story that someone would do that. The rest of it, though, doesn't fully make sense. Which I guess maybe also says it's real. I'll go with real. But I'm ready to be wrong.
Okay. Charlotte?
I think I'm also going to go for real on this one.
This one is fake.
Whoa, good job, Libby.
An important part of the Daily Mail headline is how insanely long it is for no reason.
Yes.
There are, I mean, so many that will go over literally like 4 lines. There was one that I didn't do that was about Mike Myers. Mike Myers looks worlds away from his Austin Powers character as he poses alongside Rio Ferdinand to watch Manchester City win 4-1 against Liverpool FC. You don't need all of that in the headline.
Yeah,
that is good.
know?
If you're once you've written that, you have to be like, all right, who scored? When did they score during the game? Like, give me the minutes in parentheses.
Just keep going, put the whole story in the headline. Yeah.
It's so sad that I do, even though we've just did Austin Powers, I do kind of want to know what Mike Myers looks like now, because it must be different from how he looked in the past, right?
Worlds away.
Worlds away, even.
I like
Number
the idea
5.
of a reader that just expects him to look exactly like Austin Powers
all the time.
Sees that picture and is like,
Suit.
whoa! Like,
Yeah. What's up with his teeth? Don't touch me. Fuming Simon Cowell warns off Mr. Blobby as the costumed character savagely covers Judge in pink slime during chaotic Britain's Got Talent magic audition.
Okay, I think this one is real, but this is mostly because I feel like I remember this happening, which is going to be an insane thing to have said if you'd made this up. But I do think that this maybe did happen, and I heard about it. Now Livy's looking so proud.
Good job writing a headline about a dream that your co-host had. So, again, I'm finding stray bits of craft and assuming that this is Livy. Warns off Mr. Blobby is got some tasting notes of puts cat in the bin to me. So, like, I'll say it's fake because that seems like that would be a really funny thing to write.
This one is real.
Oh.
Yes,
Congratulations on not hallucinating
in
Simon
real life.
Cowell and Mr. Blobby.
I
having a
didn't
fight.
read Charlotte's mind. Her crazy, crazy mind.
Yeah.
Number 6. Mother, 34, sheds a third of her body weight after swapping biscuits, sausage rolls, and crisp binges for a diet of mushy peas.
Oh man. David?
I'm gonna say that this is fake because that's not a good diet. I don't think it would work. And I know they wouldn't put lies in the newspaper.
Good. This is a good point. You probably shouldn't just eat mushy peas.
Yeah.
Charlotte?
I almost wonder if this is real, if this person did actually just eat mushy peas. You know?
Yeah.
Starting to wonder that. I think... Oh, I'm going to say fake on this one.
This one is real.
Oh,
God damn it.
She
what's
lost that
going
weight.
on with these guys.
I know.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be bulk ordering a bunch of mushy peas with my fat jab.
Yeah. Time to put those sausage rolls in the bin.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Put it in the bin.
In the bin. All right, and number 7. Gordon Ramsay shocks restaurant staff in London flagship with woke rant about respecting fucking pies more than, and of course fucking is censored, fucking pies more than they respect pronouns.
I'm trying to pass this one.
Yeah, same. Another classic where I have to say that it's real because I don't know what the fuck it's on about. It's just impenetrable.
Well, it's quite simple. Gordon Ramsay shocks restaurant staff in London flagship with woke rant about respecting fucking pies more than they respect pronouns.
Okay. Yeah, let's
Charlotte?
let's go real on this one. I'd like to believe Gordon Ramsay is woke.
Please.
Please.
David?
Sure, it seems real enough. Why not?
This one is fake.
Oh.
No.
I'm so sorry. Gordon is not woke.
Gordon's
Really?
not woke.
Well,
That's
we
what
don't
this
know.
means.
Maybe he
No,
is.
that's what this means. It's
That's-
confirmed.
That was all we could have ever had as evidence, is if he shocked restaurant staff with rant about woke pronouns or
Rant
whatever
about
the fuck.
respecting
Mhm.
your fucking pies.
There is, I think, one clip of him saying, "Respect the source." Maybe Brendan is
Yeah.
going to tell me when he listens to this episode whether I made that up or whether that's something that we just say to each other.
In a Gordon Ramsay voice.
Oh yeah, Brendan is
Mhm.
always saying stuff in a Gordon Ramsay voice to me.
Nice.
It's like
Solid.
it's like 70% of stuff he says. Thank you so much, David, for coming on. We want to let
Oh,
you
God,
get
thank
on with
you.
your day.
Thanks for having
Please, what would you like to plug?
Defector.com is the website I work at, which you mentioned. It's a subscription site, but you can read a few stories for free and see if you like it or not. But I hope that you will like it and want to subscribe to it, because we work very hard on it and we all own it, and it's not enriching any Roth or Mir related discount in any way.
Yes.
And then I do the Distraction podcast with Drew McGarry, and I do a Hallmark movie podcast with Jeb Lund called It's Christmas Town.
Wonderful.
Yep.
A great thing. Defector is. I'm very proud to have written for it before.
Yeah, great place to read Libby Watson's writing.
Yeah, that's the place to start. I would go say go and read what Libby's written about. You can read the article she wrote about the dinner party that you hosted that I went to, where we all went fucking nuts for your focaccia, which was
Charlotte.
It was extremely good.
Wow.
We were salivating over that shit.
I guess.
I think about that often.
I can just whip one up if you like. Yeah, it's a wonderful website and a great way to support good media. Maybe the only good website.
Oh, thanks a lot. But yeah, this was a blast. Thank you. I feel like I learned a lot about a bad website, and then also some wig stuff was that'll be useful to me going forward.
Cool. And now, if you could do your plug again in a British accent, real quick, that would be great.
Sure. Right. All right. I don't think I should do that.
I would like.
Haven't I done enough
to just say Defector?
Defector.com.
Defector.com.
Okay.
It's worker-owned media.
Fucking work around.
Imagine I'm holding out a little copper pot asking for alms. Just a monthly subscription will make such a difference to all of us at Defector.com.
Oh, David, thank you. You've done it. You've done it.
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Speaking of subscriptions as well, you can also subscribe to us over on Patreon. Well, What's All This Then over there. Patreon.com/What's All This Then for bonus episodes and video episodes as well. You can follow us at What's All This Pod on Blue Sky and Instagram. And if you want to send us a message, maybe you have an idea for a British thought of the week, or you just want to send us a message about how much you like the podcast, which people do, and it makes us genuinely so happy. So thank you to the people who do that. You actually make our day. That's What's All This Post at gmail.com, and that's the end of the podcast. Well done, everybody. We did it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?